guys, I am not a body man. And yeah, I have no problem saying that. Is that going to be pretty? Once I clean it up and put the brace on there, you probably won't even be able to tell it was done on the outside. Is it a lot more structural than this nasty, really paper thin, rusty metal? Yes, by far. So, it's going to help. You can actually grab the Firewall and pull on it now and not have to worry about it. Like I said, I got to metalwork everything, clean all the welds up. I'm going to have to go back through and probably do another 2 or 3 passes on spot welds. I like to knock them down a bit and then go back and fill in the gaps after they're knocked down. Yeah, I've got, like I said, one more piece after that. Well, actually a couple. I have to do that little piece there on the side because I had found more rust as I was working. But this piece here, we'll cut that out too. And that bad mamma jamma. Get welded in like so. Covering that back up. That'll all get seam sealed and everything. So, shouldn't have a problem there, keeping moisture out of it. So, yeah. That definitely would have been a problem in a few more years. You would have went down to push on the brake and you'd end up moving the dash forward and the whole column and everything because that gets weak in there. And I had a square body actually have that happen. It rusted really bad behind that. And I pushed on it was a manual, pushed on the clutch, and it actually pushed the whole front of the Firewall forward when you're pushing the clutch or the brake. So yeah, fun. So I'm going to go ahead and call it a day for today, but I'm going to come back, crack on a little bit more, and we'll see if we can get a little farther. At least we can hopefully get it kind of looking like this piece. It's not perfect, but it'll definitely work better than rusty metal. All right, things went a little crazy there. I went ahead and pulled the whole front clip off. It actually came apart pretty easy. I do have one broken bolt I got to fix in a fender, but I got all the hardware, and one of the bolts is stuck in the core support. But that won't be too big of a deal to fix. But I don't know if you can see on camera. Doesn't that frame look like she... Yeah, I'm going to have to say this thing was in an accident at some point in its life. The frame's cracked around the steering gear box, which is not surprising. That happens with these. They can crack around the mounting bolts, so we can weld that and fix it. But I think this frame is wonked up pretty good. It's not horrible. I don't know. They've definitely pulled on this sway bar and pulled that forward because it's almost out of the hook there. And yeah, I don't know. It's kind of, it just looks wonky to me. And I don't know if it's that sway bar that's making it look like that, but I'm half tempted to pull the sway bar out of it just to see what it looks like without the sway bar, maybe giving it an optical illusion. We may also measure some stuff too. Probably might come back here. It looks pretty square back in here. I might measure it, point of reference, because then bolt holes are in pretty same location, just to kind of see if it is out of square really bad. But this is 117.5 inches wheelbase. A GMT 800 Tahoe is 116 inches. So an inch and a half shorter, which wouldn't be hard to correct with the truck body or the rear axle placement. But if this frame is real wonky, I'm talking to him, we might be able to get a newer Tahoe frame. And if he buys one down from where this truck came from, down Oklahoma, Texas area, if he finds me a clean one, I'll cut him a deal, do some swapping, some trading for a nice Tahoe body. I will put a Tahoe back on my Tahoe frame and build up a nice Tahoe frame, build up a nice Tahoe instead of putting my regular cab on it, if I can get a nice Tahoe body, because I do have kids and I like an SUV. I like my Suburban. It's back there hiding, but I would like one a little bit shorter than the Suburban to have as an everyday driver. But this here just kind of raises the question of where we are with it. I've got to grab this because that fell out. That goes with this. But everybody said, well, putting it on a Tahoe frame would be a lot of work. Not really. Fabricating cab mounts aren't that hard. The hardest thing will be to integrate steering column and brakes, which if we get rid of the ABS system and just we could actually utilize the master cylinder off of like a GM car that bolts up to the booster on these. We could actually use the booster and master cylinder off of a full disc brake car, and it would probably, if I have to look at the piston size and everything, but if we can get a piston size about the same, this should stop a Tahoe frame, the Tahoe brakes relatively good. And that also opens him up to, obviously you'd have to run different wheels than these, but that would open him up to big brakes, like 19 plus big brakes, pretty easy and relatively cheap. You get the boxed frame, you get a 4-link rear suspension, and if he's wanting to put the 6.0 in it and cam it, possibly later on add a power adder to it, the 4-link would definitely be a better setup than leaf springs. I mean, yeah, we could do traction bars, but you know, there's a lot better aftermarket too for brakes and stuff. And he would get a, 26, 28 gallon tank instead of the 16 gallon fuel tank, because we'd probably just make the Tahoe tank work, obviously. And I'd probably cut him a deal on some of the parts we've already bought for the swap, just because there's parts that I need. I could swap him over pretty easily. Still have to rebuild his column and stuff, but you know, that is what it is. Anyways, guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and cut the video here. It's been a little bit of work. We did all the patching on the firewall. It's not perfect. I got to go through. I'm going to seam seal everything. While there's no front clip on it, I'm going to go through and sand everything, clean everything. I'm going to go in the cowl area, get all rid of the old seam sealer, clean it, treat it, re-seam seal it, paint it semi-gloss black, and just get that all nice and unified color. And yeah. So, I didn't even notice that this doesn't have any screws in it. Nice. We'll definitely throw some screws in that too. Does passenger side have any screws in it? Yes, it does. Yeah, so we'll definitely throw a couple screws in that. But yeah. Also, if we use Tahoe frame, I could get or use the low mount truck AC compressor. I'd have to see if what the pressures and stuff it makes are to this, but we could use that, have custom lines made, and use that for the AC in this truck. So, yeah. All right, we're gonna do some tossing around some ideas and see what's gonna happen. But if we want to build it with this frame, we'll build it with this frame. If we want to go out and source another frame, we can. Yeah. I mean, I could sell him my Tahoe frame, to be real honest. It's four-wheel drive, but yeah, we could rebuild all the suspension in it and stuff. And yeah, he'd have I could buy two-wheel drive spindles for it. Or not spindles, two-wheel drive hubs. And it could be easily two-wheel drive, or if he wants to make a four-wheel drive, we could build a four-wheel drive truck for him. It all depends on what he wants to do. So I'll talk to him, and so we'll see. Oh, yeah. If you like this content, go ahead and hit that like button. If you're not subscribed already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notification button. And like always, have a good rest of your week.